Up, up, and away. We may not have Superman in real life, but Bitcoin is just as unstoppable as the son of Krypton. I just got off the phone with the Bitcoin CEO, and he said he's damn tired of waiting for people to get on board. Like NBA hooper Dylan Brooks, he said, I'm out. And look, I don't dare tell you a price here because, well, it's gonna soon be outdated. Volatility is gonna be at a record high. Many traders, they're gonna get wrecked. So today, let's talk about some of the factors driving the price up, like money created out of nowhere, like taxation, but most importantly, how the Bitcoin remnant of society reacts to these economic forces. There aren't that many out there, the few people not swayed by the noise, the fear, and the distractions. Who's with me? It's Ser Ulric, and are you down with the underground? Now, every day since the Genesis block, the first block that was ever mined, you're witnessing history. Every day since you bought your first Bitcoin, not knowing what the hell you're supposed to do with it, you became a part of history. And until the day you are history, you will see this technology grow in ways that disrupts what we thought to be the most undisruptible industry we have, the state-owned monopoly on money. We're in the phase of a cycle that some people call price discovery, and it's where we find out based on global free market principles how valuable Bitcoin can really be on its very best day. Wall Street has their version of what's happening. It's called the belief or thrill phase. But guess what? Down with the underground ain't a Wall Street show, and Bitcoin is definitely not Wall Street. And that's why they always fall flat, not understanding what Bitcoin is doing and can do. However, check out this diagram by the rational root. See, what the Wall Street type failed to see is Bitcoin is on its own timeline tangential to the force that the finance industry would have on it. This is multifactored, and it's too deep to put in a short video, but I would say when your industry is your religion, your worldview, even the geniuses in the field will be certainly blinded by simple things outside their dogma. Like, for example, isn't it funny how they all claim, of course, inflation is good for society? But I ain't never known a single person where inflation directly benefits them. So who is this society they refer to? And we've seen it for years and so many times over and over, it's not even interesting to mention. But we're gonna anyways, like Jamie Dimon, whose tail should be very much between his legs, or Nouriel Roubini, who's been predicting Bitcoin's demise for over a decade. And I think he's finally given up. I haven't heard from him since 2023. He was a broken clock who was only right about predicting the great financial crisis. What is that, like 18 years ago? Honestly, you can smell the ego of people like this a mile away. They will never admit they're wrong. They're only hoping that you're too distracted to remember that they led you astray. Or Dave Ramsey, a wealthy talk show host that creates sensation by making people with bad financial decisions into a spectacle. He essentially runs a poor, stupid people circus. But he's quite stupid himself to be on the wrong side of Bitcoin for over a decade as well. Every time I mention Ramsey publicly, there's some zealot that wants to jump into my little corner of YouTube and defend his honor. To those people that want to do that, take a good look at yourself in the mirror and ask that reflection, why do I hero worship so hard? Then I'll tell you, no matter what advice Ramsey told you, if you just listen to me over the same time horizon and just buy Bitcoin, you would have done way better than what he could have done for you. Maybe cured yourself of idolizing Unk in the process. Thou shalt not worship false idols. He don't need your protection, so why simp? Also remember, the fiat debt-based system is like a vassalage, a feudal system, and those that own the property, the diamonds, the finks, and to a lesser extent the Ramseys, are the lords of the system, and they're able to generate fiat from the assets they own, the businesses, homes, the stocks, the bonds. And the rules of the current system benefit them. You may have a home or two, you may have some stocks, I do too, but the interest rates on the debt that these ultra wealthy have are multiple times better than what the poor people of the world can access. The wealthier you are, the more fiat buying power you can generate out of thin air. And it's no wonder many rich people don't want Bitcoin to mature as a real monetary system. Even the Bitcoiners like Saylor and the treasury company leaders. The playbook created by the chairman of strategy is only effective with a strong yet inflating fiat unit. But if it dies, there's nothing to borrow against anymore. Then we'll have to see if strategy can actually sell something besides shareholder equity that was raised the week before. Strategy t-shirts, anyone? Anyone? Bueller?
Bueller? Bueller? Bueller.
But there is a group that stands to lose even more than Bitcoin treasuries or JP Morgan. The world governments are absolutely dependent on keeping fiat alive. They just can't buy Bitcoin. In a Bitcoin world, you need to be able to cover your bills. There's no bailout, and none of the governments we have today can cover the bills without printing. So let's take a look at the strongest country, the US of A, and their recent spending and deficit. Here's a table summarizing those figures from 2015 to 2024 from the Pleb website. And of course, the USA continues to spend more money than they bring in. They have the dollar hegemony to protect, and we all know how, and if I say it too loud, my YouTube impressions will go down, so we'll just wink and move on. We always talk about the national debt, now over 37 trillion, but to most normal people floating through life, it's just an abstract number. It doesn't cause them to compute any consequences. Well, the consequence is that somewhere in each of these years, the dollar amount was injected to the economy to settle obligations. And that money is contributing to your inflation experience, as there are now more monetary units competing for the same assets and consumables. Are there sometimes supply chain issues? Are there diseases that wipe out a large segment of chickens or cows or crops? Yeah. But most of your inflationary experience is a man-made phenomenon, and government-made at that. And by the way, this is only discussing the US federal deficit. I go over the M2 expansion and some of the other strongest economic zones in the world in this video, and it's not pretty. Click on the tab above to watch that next. Links in the show notes as well. But here's what else is crazy. This chart will show you the government is increasing its revenue off of every household. How's it we're supposed to be advancing as a society, but the average person is being squeezed more and more? Exactly who is advancing and at whose expense? Let's just go back 25 years ago, man. It seems better than it is now. In the 10 years we're referring to, the national government has increased their revenue per household by 51%, and the states have increased 47% in the same time frame. Do you know what kind of stupid stuff I could do if my taxes were decreased by 50%? I feel robbed. For real though, why are my streets still screwed up and dirty? Why are cities abandoned, looking more like a Blade Runner ghost town every year? In 10 years, the federal government is taking 44% more per household, and the states are taking on average 37% more. That in total is 42% more revenue per household in that 10 years. Now, of course, we're all smart here. We can come up to the next logical question like, well, if the government is making more money per household, maybe every household is also making more money, right? Okay, so let's just take a look at the mean household income, right? 2024 doesn't come out till September, so we'll just work with 2015 to 2023. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. 36% gain in 9 years' time. It's a struggle, but they're hanging in there. Maybe if you vote for the right people. But wait, that's not how we determine what middle America is experiencing, because we continue to have record number and earnings of billionaires that are pulling the mean curve up, right? So you have to look at the median. Oh no. Look at this. In 9 years, the median income is up only 11%. So people are taxed 42% more by the states and the federal government. That's net negative 31% of what you're bringing home to try to make for yourself a better life. That ain't jiving. All the while, CPI, the things that you buy on a regular basis, has risen 33% in the last 10 years. How can you save for a house that grows 48% in 10 years if you need to pay more for everyday items? The only people that defend this system are the people that benefit from it. If you're anywhere near the median income and you have a job that isn't based on money printing, you actually benefit if by some miracle we no longer had fiat currency. And the crazy thing is that you can't even call it a hidden tax in public, because some people actually like the idea of taxation, like it's some saving grace for them, right? So call it a poison pill, the dollar, the euro. Anything that the government can make for free is poisoning your time, making it harder to work enough so you can actually enjoy some of your life. So you're not forced to send your wife to work, so you can live in areas where you don't need to watch your back. And so those areas where you need to watch your back can be more respectable because people are less desperate. If you hear someone talk about how they don't like Bitcoin, indirectly, in a roundabout way, they want you enslaved.